Hi, everyone. Okay, so I wanted to give you a little bit of a tour of our online space, our class. Um, on the landing page, when you first log into your course, you'll see the week one module up at the very top. I will always have the current week's module at the very top of all the module list. Additionally, you'll also see announcements at the very top of the page. Right now, you don't see them because I haven't posted it yet. You'll see an announcement at the very top of that page. And if you have set your notifications to receive announcements, then you will get pinged when I post announcements. And I would strongly encourage you to do that. Again, you can kind of check that email that I sent last week with the attachment for how to change some of your notifications in Canvas. That's actually also just a good practice to have because as instructors, we sometimes will make little changes to our course content throughout the semester. You don't want to get notified every time we do that. So you want to kind of check some of that stuff off, right? But as far as what's in our class, let's take a look at the left sidebar. The home page, and now if you'd like to see the announcements directly, here they are. There's a link here to schedule a conference. So I have office hours. I have daytime open office hours. And you can pop in anytime that you want during those hours, no appointment needed. You just kind of jump in. But if you want to see me in the evening, or if you would like to schedule something that is exclusive, I definitely, you're saying to me, I definitely want to meet with you during this time, even if it's during the day. I want some guaranteed time with me and for a conversation, then you would click on schedule a conference. And that is going to, let's see if it will do it. That will take you to my Calendly page, which will open up into my conference schedule. So again, I have open office hours 2 days a week for 2 hours each of those windows. And then I also have evening hours, but those evening hours are only by appointment. Later in the semester, when we're working on essays and things, I'll open those up to having open hours. But for now, it's just by appointment. So feel free to calendar one of those times if you would like to meet during the evening. Page looks like, and you would just click on one of those dates, and you could select a time for when you want to meet. Okay. Okay, so let's see if it'll go back there. The next link that you'll see is says need an extension. Okay, what does that even mean? Well, remember that this class has a pretty flexible late policy. You have assignments that are due on a particular day, Friday, by 7:59 p.m. Don't feel like you have to submit it at 7:30 on a Friday. That's just because I have to put a due date into Canvas, right? And I don't necessarily want you to think that I'm forcing you to do your work on the weekend. So do your work at any point during the week, turn it in early. It's due by Friday. But you have the until date of Sunday at midnight or 11:59 p.m. Okay? What that means is that between Friday and Sunday, you can turn in the work and Canvas will mark it late. That's irrelevant. That's my grace period, right? Does no harm, no foul. You can turn it in during that grace period without any problem. But let's say, for example, that something happens. You're planning on using that grace period. Your boss calls you in for an extra shift. Your child gets sick. All of these things have also happened to me. Then you would click on this need an extension. And this need an extension basically is a Google form that you will fill out. It's super simple. Your name, the course with your section number, and the assignment that you need an extension for, and when you think you can get it in. That's it. You don't need to provide me a reason. You don't owe me a reason. But I will ask that you stay firm to the date that you propose for yourself. Okay. So if you're asking for an extension here, consider it granted. The Zoom with Miller link, this takes you directly to my Zoom. So for the student hours, I always include that Zoom information on these planning pages, but to keep it easier for you, you would just click Zoom with Miller. And this is true for the appointments too. If you opt to have one of those evening conferences, it's the same Zoom link. I use the same Zoom link for everything. Okay. Modules, that's pretty self-explanatory. It will take you directly to the modules. Writing skills. So this link will take you directly in back into Canvas into a module where I have a bunch of writing skills that are meant for review. Let's say, for example, that you need to remember about how to avoid a 3-point thesis. Great, there's resources for you there. Let's say that you could use a refresher on paragraph structure. Great, there's some resources for you there. So this will take you back into a module here in Canvas with material, just providing some overviews about writing. Same thing with rhetorical tools. Our first several modules will focus pretty heavily on rhetoric. And don't let that scare you. It's actually super interesting. But to keep it easy, I've also housed all of those all of those instructional pages in this module called Rhetorical Tools. So again, you could just click on that. The syllabus. Now, some of you may have already clicked on this page and said, well, Prof. Miller, I noticed that the syllabus is here, but there's no schedule. And I should tell you that if you're looking for a course that has a schedule for every single thing, you are in the wrong course. Yes, of course, I have due dates. I have all of that planned, but sometimes things take longer and I need to be more flexible with my dates. And so if you have a concern about a due date or a time when you know you're going to be gone, reach out to me, please. Let me know. I think that's usually why students like to see the schedule, but for the most part, I don't provide a list of when everything is going to be due. I do open the unit modules all at once. So all of the Unit 1 module will become available to you, Unit 2, Unit 3, and so on. The suggestion box. So at any point in the semester, if you feel like, oh, I wish that this class did this, or I wish Prof. Miller would say or do this, the suggestion box is the place for you to tell me that. Again, it will take you directly to a Google form. And on that Google form, you can put your name if you want, but it can also be anonymous. And tell me what you're thinking. What could I be doing better that would be that would better serve you? What do you need? What's confusing? What's challenging? This is your opportunity to give me some feedback. Files, if you have any of the readings you want to go back and find, you can find it in files. Grades is probably the one kind of element that students really look to fairly consistently. And you'll notice on my navigation bar that it's pretty low on the list. When I have given you feedback for something, you'll see a little blue dot here that indicates that I've given you some feedback. And you'll see in the on your to-do list and in the grade book, you'll see the feedback. If you've gotten full credit, it's complete. You've gotten a green check mark. If you see an eyeball, that means that something is missing. I'm telling you, please review, and you'll see that note, please review. It means you maybe submitted something, but a piece of it is missing, or maybe on the writing territory, maybe you didn't try one of the grammar skills or whatever it is. But at any rate, or if it's missing, you see like a little black hole, right? So the grades is where I will give you feedback. You will also notice on grades the little message bubble sometimes. If you see a little message bubble next to the point value, it means that I've left you a message in the comments, and all you have to do is click on that to see what I've said. So I do a lot of communication through the grades. I also do a lot of communication via email. So, and I think I put this in the layout page, but it's really important for you to check email in this class. Too often, and again, I had 2 students this happened to last semester, where they shared a Google Doc for their major assignment, but they did not give me any kind of access. And so even though I saw that the link was there, I couldn't open anything. And this went on for about 8 weeks, and they were almost dropped from the course. Now, if they had checked all the comments I had left in grades, or checked any of the emails that I had been sending them, they would have known that there was a problem that they could have fixed very easily and right away. So always just check this. You know, I know that you're getting email from your other classes, but just skim it and make sure that you're not getting some kind of, you know, notice from me that there's a problem, that I'm having an issue. That really is one of the more important ways for me to contact you, is via the comments and grades and via inbox. All right, that's the basic layout of our class. The best way for you to get a hold of me is to reach out via the Canvas inbox. It's really simple. Just click on that, and then you can type in the instructor for your English 221 class. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know.